World's rarest video game, Extra Terrestrials for the Atari 2600. Long lost, a holy grail. It's on eBay right now. I had heard of this game before. I think we might have talked about this a couple of years ago.
We did. This one, yeah, absolutely. This label, we talked about this.
So here's the deal, people. We was talking about these games that came out on the 2600 were basically borderline made in your basement games like Gamma Attack, where
possibly unplayable.
They're playable. They function, or Red Sea Crossing, where you're Noah trying to get across. And I say this, it's not hyperbole, how there's no collector that has a complete 2600 game set that I know of.
That I know of. I would find it to be something that's very hard.
That's what I've been told too by Atari collectors, that they don't know anyone.
Right.
Because when you look at the extremely rare, like 10 out of 10 games, there's a couple dozen almost that exist.
Yeah.
When you look up, you can go to Atari Age, our favorite website. You look on a site like that, and you just take a look at, let's look at the rarest games. 23 that are 10 out of 10. Air Raid, we know about Air Raid with the blue handle. A game called Alien, Asterix, never heard of it. Atlantis 2, which was the Mailway Prize contest one. A game called Beanie Bobber. Birthday Mania, that was like something that was like a local thing, I think. Something called BMX Airmaster, and more and more. Demon Attack, Eli's Ladder, Gamma Attack. A game called Gauntlet, probably not our Gauntlet. It's not. It's one I think with like you have to get through an obstacle thing on a single screen. Exactly. Pepsi Invaders, a giveaway. Like commission. Video Life, Music Machine. I've seen a couple of these in person. I ain't seen most of these.
Yeah, I saw a Red Sea Crossing, not like out in the wild, but I think
that's not even on this list for a 10, by the way, and even that's hard to find.
I think someone had one of those at a convention.
So here's the point. The point is that a lot of these games were produced in such small quantities, maybe 100, couple hundred, and then they sold them. These were in retail stores. A lot of these, they sold them out of magazines, or they advertised them locally.
Well, and so many of these were probably like just hand manufactured, like literally put together by hand
by a team of 1 or 2 people,
possibly put together to order. I mean, that's possible, and then if no one notices your fly-by-night game.
Yeah. So the Gamma Attack thing was such a weird thing, because when they found that one, I think it was in Jersey, they found a copy of it. The author was like, I still have a few of the stickers that I never put on the game.
Yeah.
And I think he had pieces of a few left that he didn't put together that I think he might have sold, So it's like, this is what we're talking about here. This is why it's so insane. So I don't know a lot about this game. I'm not going to pretend to be an Atari expert like someone from Storage Wars. I'm not going to pretend that.
Oh.
So when I see this stuff, to me, this is fun because I'm learning about something I don't know about. That's why I like to see it. So this game, it's just funny because obviously they're ripping off ET when you look at it, right? Yeah. It just looks, I don't even know what the gameplay looks like, but that's not what people are interested in. They just want, a rare game. And this could be a game where, if you look at the description of this, you like the label, by the way? I think that's adorable.
Yeah, it's a weird label.
So when you look at it, for more images, it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. One of a kind, 100% original, authentic, Atari 2600 game called Extra Terrestrials. The first time that this game has ever been listed publicly for sale to the world. Okay. And I'm currently the only confirmed private owner of this game. The only other discovered copies are held in a Canadian museum. So this is a Canadian game when you read further. First discovered in 2012. Produced in 84. This was lost.
Yeah.
Herman Quast, the original creator, claimed that the production was extremely limited and only about 100 or so were ever printed. I'm shocked it's that many. I'm shocked that they probably produced enough cartridges for that many.
How many? 100?
100.
That's even more than I would have thought.
It was a company in Burlington, Ontario called Skill Screen Games. 3 family members, along with the programmer, patented and invested their time and money into the game. That's interesting. It's probably like, Atari's hot, even though 84 was dying out.
Yeah.
Let's make a game. Let's develop a game. Targeted Christmas of 83. Production was delayed due to technical issues, and the team lost the opportunity to make sales for Christmas. But yada, yada, yada. It's a lot of interesting information here. Sid Bolton, who passed away, owner of the PC Museum, stated that it was the only commercially produced Canadian Atari 2600 game. So this is, I guess, it looks like a level above a guy in a basement, but not that far out, right? When it's a family putting it together.
Sure.
So this is extremely interesting to me. So they're asking $90,000 or best offer. That's going to be a hard sell, obviously.
Yes.
I can picture a game like this knowing that the hardcore Atari collectors, they'll drop 5 figures on this. They'll drop 10,000 potentially. If there's only a handful of these remaining. When you think about 100, how many were thrown out? How many were actually sold that still exist?
Right.
There's got to be other copies out there. It's just probably not more than like whatever you want to say 10, 20 of these things. Like how many could still be out there?
Yeah.
Think about if half of the gold NWC still exist. I'm not saying half of these necessarily exist, but there's got to be some out there.
I think them putting it up at 90,000 is also to be like, hey, if you want to buy this from me at 90,000, great. But I have a feeling I have a feeling partially this is to see what gets offered.
Absolutely.
To try to determine what people might think it's actually worth in the modern age.
They know that graded Super Mario Brothers first edition just went for $100K in the sale. These people know that. I'm not even faulting them putting up for this much. I'm just saying that.
No, I said, I don't think it's something they actually think they're going to get. I think it's just to generate offers and see what's out there.
I think the most expensive Atari game sale that I know of was that boxed area that went for like 20. I want to say 25. I think it was 20.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And there's only like 2 or 3 boxes, and only one has the manual. And I saw it in person. I saw it at the SoCal meetup. It was like 5-6 years ago already. Holy crap! Where I did see it after he bought it, and it was funny because the buyer, he just spent like 20 grand on it or whatever it was, didn't have it in any protection. He just had. I was like, dude, listen, there's a company that makes these protectors for you, even the soft ones. I said, like, you got to at least get a soft one, if not the hard one. He just had it out. I looked at it. I was like, okay,
wow,
cool, that's
neat.
So this is why it's so fascinating to me that there's still these games out there. And this one, I think I heard of this game. I think we discussed it.
We did. I know the label. We definitely talked about it.
There's other ones I hadn't heard of yet, and there's ones that we will never see most of these games in person.
Yep.
You won't see them at a convention. They'll be in some private collection or in a museum somewhere.